Good morning. Good morning. See if we can get some warm light in here so it's not too bright. Ready to see what's going on with the market this morning. Let's present the screen. Anybody on here wear glasses and one day the glasses work fine and the next day they don't? Anybody run into that issue besides me? All is well. And then a different day, it's like, I don't want to work no more. Or I don't want to work the same. It still works, just don't work the same. Alrighty, so we're about 5 minutes before the market opens. NVDA ran and did what it did yesterday. It didn't waste any time. Let me take this off so I can move this where it's supposed to go. It needs to move over here. That way I can see what's happening. What's going on? I need to be able to see what's going on. Good morning, Royal Diadem, Marcia, Adrian, hey, Janae, TGIF. Ain't that the truthest? TGIF. Wonderful. Here we go. Put ourselves on a one screen. There we are. Come on. Technology, work together. Janae said when you get to this screen, it's like it don't be easy to see. That's because the screen here in my big screen is one of those like surround sound monitors. So it's big and it stretches everything all out. Like I don't know what's happening on that monitor. It's big. It's a big one. Where is NVIDIA this morning? NVIDIA is currently at 807. I have to investigate further. How do you identify resistance at a place where there is no resistance? Good morning, Sizzling. How do you look at resistance? How do you identify resistance zones when there is no resistance zone? When it's just going and going and going, how do you determine what is resistance? I mean, as long as people are buying, then there's still, of course, room to move up. But it's just like, is there a way? And if you've seen something like that where you're like, you saw somebody mentioned or whatever, how do you determine resistance when there is no resistance place? Then definitely send me a link or something. I'm interested to know that. All right. Currently, you see NVIDIA has continued. It climbed a little bit yesterday. It kind of leveled off a little. It finally closed yesterday at 785, looks like. And this morning we have popped above $8. $800, not $8. It's 807 this morning is where NVIDIA is right now in the pre-market. The VIX is at 14. The VIX is at 14. It's down 0.53. The VIX being up a little bit means the market may be down a little bit. I don't know. It's run so hard the last couple of days, and NVIDIA, like we talked about yesterday, is lifting all the boats, lifting all the stocks. So there'll be some profit taking. I mentioned that yesterday that there would be some profit taking, and we saw a little yesterday. Walmart's fight with Amazon turns a light on digital ads. I think Walmart did something like they could tell their ads people exactly which ads or what ad is going to do it, like what was the conversion on a particular ad and where did it convert. So I think that was something that other people hadn't been doing yet. It's kind of giving more ad data. NVIDIA set to top 2 trillion valuation in chip maker first. Bank of America investors still flock to cash as stocks hit records. U.S. futures take time out after a breakout rally. On my title for for this morning is that there's other ways. We've talked about this the last couple of days, that there's other ways to benefit from the NVIDIA run. There's other stocks that are like around, like, NVIDIA adjacent, if you want to call it. Things like AMD, Intel, SOXL. I probably can name a few more, but at least those three. There's some things that that are NVIDIA adjacent, some AI stocks, Palantir. I mean, you've got some choices of some things that haven't run out, or I'm not gonna say that NVIDIA has run its course, but NVIDIA is widely stretched. So when it's stretched like that, you there's an opportunity for it to just out of the blue start to pull back, and you don't necessarily know when that's going to be. You won't necessarily know when the pullback's going to happen. You don't want to be holding the bag when it happens, right? If quote unquote late to the party, if you just got to the NVIDIA party, I mean, if you jumped on in the 500s and you've ridden it up to 8, then you've been doing good. But there was $300 between 5 and 8. Is there another $300? I can't say there is, but the chances that there's another $300 in the short term is a little thin, right? Because it's probably going to pull back a little bit before it makes another run. Again, all this is speculation. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm just saying that if it's moved about $300 over the last couple of months, then it's run pretty well. So now we need to see. It only makes sense that it's going to pull back, and you don't want to. You might, if you hadn't jumped on this bandwagon, you might want to carefully consider. If anything, you might want to watch and see what happens next when it gets ready to fall down, and get your benefits there. SPX, yes, is over 5,100. Y'all see that? It opened up at 5,101. We thought 5,000 was the be all to end all. We thought 5,000 was all it was gonna be. Nope, we're at 5,100 right now, and I guess SPY is probably at 510. So again, this is another one. It's being lifted. NVIDIA is lifting all the boats, including SPX and SPY. So you want to be ready when. Well, I almost said you need to be ready when Jesus comes, but you need to be ready when this when it starts to come back down. At least you'll be ready for a little bit of a ride down. I'm not saying it's going to crash, but it's probably going to pull back a little bit. That's what stocks do. Stocks pull back. That's what they do. Okay. As far as meetings and stuff go today, I don't think we had anything on the agenda for Friday. When we looked yesterday, there wasn't anything there for Friday. Stock futures are little change after S&P 500, NASDAQ notched the best day in more than a year. Did anybody, I didn't see much mentioned yesterday about the moon landing. They supposedly landed on the moon yesterday. Did anybody look at that and see what happened? I don't it was like in passing. It's like how do we how come that wasn't like touted highly, even though I'm not personally convinced that we went to the moon the first time, but that's just my own. I won't call it a conspiracy theory. I just don't feel like we went. My husband asked a good question yesterday. If we went to the moon, how did the little moon rover, how the rover thing get up there? If we went to the moon before, how'd the rover get up there? Did we take it with us? Did we like strap it onto the back and carry it with us, or what? Or what? Anyway, Dow futures are up 0.27%, S&P futures up 0.33%, NASDAQ futures also up 0.33%. Oil is down 1.84%, and 10-year bonds are red as well. S&P future hits the fresh record above 5,100 as Wall Street tries to end the week on a high note. Okay, I didn't have anything for Friday. Nothing for Fridays, no meetings or whatever. So At this point, again, as I say every day, be sure to trade what you see. Trade what you see. Um, all right, trade what you see. All righty. This is our calendar for today. One thing you see here is the oil rig count that happens at 1 o'clock, basically counting what our coffers look like. Janae said interactive machines. I saw the banner ad, but didn't see it. Yeah. Okay. So yesterday, SPX closed at 5,087. So it was only a little bit below the 5,100. It closed at 5087 yesterday, just ready for a run up. Ready for a run up. Let's see what come on, show me the chart again. I don't need all these things. My computer was running slow before I started this morning, and I almost turned it off and back on. I was like, nah, it'll do its thing. And now it's still running slow. We're at 5107 this morning. Okay, so we had some earnings this morning. We had some earnings yesterday after market close and this morning. Okay. Let's see, we're going to move this to this way. Jamie is joining us for the call this morning. We're going to see if he has anything he'd like to add to our call today. Our earnings yesterday after market was Square and Carvana, Mercado Libre, New Ardelyx, Booking Holdings, Intuit, Indie Valley, and Live Nation. This morning, we had Warner Brothers Discovery, Blooming Brands. What's Blooming Brands? Anybody know? Lamar, NW Natural, Docebo, AirCap, Sunstone, Gray, and Frontier. Blooming Brands and Lamar. I didn't mean to skip Lamar, but I wonder what is Blooming Brands. Anybody know what that is? We can go take a check and see what.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
Outback. That's Outback Carrabba. I think it's called Bonefish Grill. It's like a group of restaurants.
I thought those were like the Red Lobster. Who's the Red Lobster guy?
I don't know who's in their posse, but I know Outback and Carrabba's roll together because they got gift certificates and you can use their gift certificates for I think they sometimes they even come in a pack. But
Okay, yes, I've seen that, like at Sam's.
yeah, so I know Outback Carrabba's and Bonefish Grill is in that group. There might be like one other
Hmm.
steakhouse like Fleming's or something in there.
Outback is my spot. Listen, you want to buy me something? Buy me a gift card for Outback. I'll love you long time, because Outback is my place. All right. My birthday's coming up, by the way, next Wednesday. I will be turning 54 next Wednesday. If you feel like blessing your girl, next Wednesday is my birthday. Okay. So I thought Blooming, who's the guy who does like Bahama Breeze? I mean, what's the restaurant chain or whatever, the company that has Bahama Breeze and those ones? What is that one called? I'm
That's
such a
probably
baby.
that one is probably Darby.
Darden, there we go. See, I thought Olive Garden and Outback and those were all in Darden.
No, if it's Darden, it's probably gonna be the other steakhouse, Longhorn and Olive Garden.
Mm-hmm. Ah,
And I don't know that
gotcha.
information from investing. I know that information because I'm fat. If I'm being honest,
If I'm being honest, it's because I like to eat. That's how I say Outback is my spot, because I like to eat too. We like to eat. Hey, listen, I looked at something this morning. I'm not sure. Well, let's go look at Adam's number before I get to what I looked at. Um, We had to have the same birthday month. Your birthday was the 16th. You also turned 54. Woohoo! Look at there. Darden is Olive Garden, Longhorn, Cheddar's, Yard House, the Capitol Grill, Seasons 52, and Muhammad Breeze. Okay, okay, okay. And Blooming Brands is the ones, those we were just talking about. Here's Adam's numbers. It says yesterday was a historic session in SPX. I was looking for a rally to 50.95, the macro target since December, off of 50.42. SPX agrees with 50.95, basing here all night. The plan today: hold your runners. 50.81, 50.65, 70 are supports. Flag out above 50.81, target 51.11, which we've come into 51. I can't see it. 51.08 right now. 51.25. These are targets. And if 50.65 fails, then we could dip to 50.40. The 50.40 begins. The dip to 50.40 begins. Grandson's birthday is Wednesday, so it's the same day as mine. Look at there. Okay, if you're trading XSP, you've got 513 on the call side and you've got 504 on the put side. Be very, very careful. You want to trade what you see, as I always say every single day. If you're doing zero DTE, especially on a Friday, Fridays feel like wrestling matches. But several Fridays, or the last couple months, Fridays have kind of been bullish. Again, not investment advice, just saying that Fridays have kind of been bullish the last several months. So you want to trade accordingly. Keep that in mind. Don't trade with your rent money, even though it's about that time. Don't be out there trading your rent money, because that's just not wisdom. Okay. I looked at all of our trades that I suggested for this week. I looked at them this morning before the market opened. So some of these were getting a little close, like I think XLB. Some of these over here were a little close. All the put credit spreads ones were fine this morning before the market opened. And Amazon and Microsoft were both already breached as far as the call credit spreads went. But do you all see all these check marks? Check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. That meant all of those trades that were suggested. Again, the market hasn't closed today yet, but going into today, all these are check marks, which if you got into them on Tuesday, they probably were ready to close yesterday. And at the very least, they're ready to close this morning. So you don't have to wait till 4 o'clock to close a credit spread. You close it when you've taken in the majority of your profits. You can go ahead and buy it back. But I just wanted to show that what we put in. Jamie, did you trade any of those things on our list?
I did 2 of those, but I was on the wrong side.
Did you not? Did you ignore what was given?
I would not like to use the word ignore. We'll discuss it offline.
Oh, so you thought better of the side. You thought
Not
a
at all.
different
Not at
side would
all.
be better.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
It
As a
sounded
matter
like
of
you
fact,
were.
the real issue was I just didn't I it didn't reach my profit target, but the trade was actually good until like yesterday afternoon maybe, and it breached the first side. So I didn't even notice that it was breached until it was too late, really. That
Okay.
was TQQQ and SOXL.
T triple Q, that was a put credit spread. You did a call credit spread?
We're not discussing this on the air.
It sounds like we are. I mean, it sounds like you have already answered.
You
You've
asked
already
me a question. you didn't
well,
you didn't say, Jamie, do you want to share? You asked me a
okay.
direct question.
Well, this is true. So I did T triple Q on the put credit spread side,
Yeah, you
and
did.
I was able to close it a couple days ago, actually.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, yeah. I closed it a couple days ago. Lady T says we're in the same boat. Tanya, what boat you in? What do you had T triple Q on the call side? Well, NVIDIA, with the way it ran up, that's why Amazon is up. I won't say that's why. So it may not be a direct correlation, but Amazon is up, Microsoft is up. So a lot of some of these other ones, XLE is energy. Some of these other ones are up too as a result. Google is right. When I selected the Google, it was right at the at the line before market opened, and it's probably gone up. Oh yeah, the Google candle. Let me change that over. You can see the Google candle. And we're on the 15-minute chart. This is the Google candle here so this definitely gone through what would have been that strike. It gapped up T triple Q call credit spread. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna give y'all any rations. Not gonna give y'all any rations. That NVIDIA having earnings this week. We didn't really know what was going to happen. A lot of people had really was pretty sure it was going to go up, and what did it do? It went up, and it took T triple Q right on with it. Took T triple Q right on with it. So we're in zero DTE. We're in zero DTE right now. What you want to do is, if you have trades that you can close up this morning, you want to go ahead to close them up. All right. Just because the morning does its volatility thing, and then the afternoon, people sell, they reset for next week. And you want to make sure that you're not in the fray when they start doing all that. Janae said SOXL went up due to NVIDIA, AVGO, AMD, and hit a high. So did AVGO, and others are a couple dollars away. Yeah, there's a lot of ones that are at their 52-week high at this point. And this is Amazon we're looking at on the chart right now. The Amazon strike was, let me see, I can't see it right now. The Amazon strike is 172.5. Yeah, it's gone past that. Amazon is at 174. Not that it can't pull back $2. I mean, Amazon can drop $2 with no problems. So it could pull right back into the station. The trade was 172.5, 175, and it's currently at 174. And there was you see this candle right here. It didn't run up and run away. The buyers ran it up, but then it didn't close up there, which means there is definitely pressure coming from the top side to maybe keep it going down. Royal Diadem said, I closed my Google CCS yesterday. I'm still in my Amazon PCS. I got a couple of them that are set to close this morning. That a close order has been turned on. So let's see. Let's put on our 15-minute chart, our 15-minute reds for SPX. Let's put those on, see if we got a breakout trying to happen. Yep, it's trying to jump out of there, out of the 15-minute candle. Again, we're trading what we see. I know I say that all the time, but I repeat that because I really want us to get into the habit of trading what we see and not what we hope to see. If you're looking for some more bullishness, there may be some, but then there might not. So don't be anticipating something that doesn't show up. If it shows up, we go with it. But if not, then we leave it. Leave it. Right? We don't jump in there with stuff that we can't do nothing with. Okay. XSP, zero DTE. Zero DTE. Yesterday, I think I did this. I talked about a call credit spread beyond that line, and it jumped right on past that line yesterday, didn't it? Put credit spread, if you had done a put credit spread yesterday, which is really what you should have done because the price broke out. Once it broke out going upwards, a put credit spread, we trade with the trend. We trade with the trend first. And if there's an opportunity to get on the other side, then we do. But a put credit spread yesterday was what you would have gone with, and it would have gone up. You could have got your PDT hack turned on, locked in some profits, right? Today, I won't say it's going to be the same thing, but potentially, it could potentially be the same thing. Now, XSP shows kind of weird on TradingView. It kind of runs behind, even though it says it's on time. These candles should really look just like SPX, and they don't. So you have to see how this one, the next candle is already forming, but on XSP, that second candle was not forming. You want to be mindful of that. Anybody got anything they're looking at for today besides closing up some stuff? Anybody thinking about something for next week? Jamie, you got your eye on anything for next week?
I'm trying to keep our eye on today. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. That makes sense. Today
No,
is what we have. We have the present.
because on T triple Q and SOXL, really only one leg is breached. So
Okay.
And it's breached by, it's close. So it may or may not be full, but
You said T triple Q and what?
T triple Q and SOXL.
SOXL. Okay.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I forgot that because NVDA reported yesterday. What was it?
2 days.
2 days. Yeah, I forgot NVIDIA was reporting this week, really. But anyway, so if I was gonna look at anything, I'll just be looking at the same stuff from this week, which would be SOXL, T triple Q. I think I closed Google. So I would just be doing the same ones that I did anyway. So SOXL, T triple Q. I did Upstart, Oracle.
Okay.
So those would be the ones that I'll be looking at.
Upstart. I don't think Upstart was on our list today, was it?
UPST. I did Shop this week as well.
Mm-hmm. You did a call credit spread on Shop. I think we talked about that.
I did call credit spread on Shop. Yep.
Yeah, we showed that Shop was had hit a bit of a resistance and was coming on down. Go to the daily chart. Focusing on today. Anybody else got something we're looking at for today? Yeah, Shopify. This is what we looked at a couple days ago, and this was a big red day, but it did have a little bit of a pullback, still pulling. They had earnings. They ran up a little bit after earnings, and then they got tired. You know how the song says, "I'm not tired yet"? They kind of got tired yet. This is Shopify. Okay, give me the thing I need. Need some rectangles to put in some gaps in here. This one's almost filled. The one that was created from, what's that, Tuesday to Wednesday is almost filled. Now it's got a little bitty, it's almost all the way filled. Now, unless, Jamie, I think you believe you go with the notion that if the wick feels it, then it's filled, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if with your, convention, this would be filled already. And I guess this one would be too, because the wick down and the wick up actually would fill those two, if that's the convention you're working with. Okay. Okay, we don't have anybody putting anything in the chat today. I want us to look at, or if you're one who's trading 0DTE, you might want to take a look at your SPX or XSP. Trade what you know, though. We're also trading in our sim. If you aren't sure about what's going on, you're trading in your sim, right? You're paper trading until you're comfortable trading live. I'm not one who says anybody ought to put their live money up if you're not ready. Right? If you're not ready, don't do that. That's not wisdom. And we trade with wisdom. Trading is not a gambling thing. We're trading, based on knowledge. So if you don't know, or you're still learning a thing, then make sure that you trade in your paper account. And listen, paper account doesn't just have to be the sim of whatever broker, because some brokers like Robinhood don't have a sim. But if you write it down on paper what trade you would take, how much money you would take if that trade was the pickup, how much would you take? And then at the end of the expiration, you see if that trade was good or not. That's really what paper trading was, that people used paper to do their trades. Now we got simulated accounts, but you can paper trade, write it on paper and see if I did this on paper, what would this trade be? Would it turn out okay or would it not? Would it be good or would it not? Okay. I entered Netflix yesterday with my son. We were looking. Does anybody know what made Netflix jump like this? Netflix made a jump up. It wasn't earnings, but because they had earnings over, what, a couple weeks ago. Let's see what the little note says. NVDA cracked the code. Analyst says golden GPUs have sparked a generational tech transformation. I was looking. I don't know what made Netflix jump like this yesterday. Anybody have any idea what made it do this yesterday? No thoughts. I was shocked. He said my NVIDIA has jumped up. I was like, really? Because I know they had earnings last week, but generally they don't, go nuts after earnings. They do their thing at earnings, and then you kind of get a little bit of a rest. Well, in this case, earnings was way back here. Pulled back a little bit. It jumped over here. This is what? Last Tuesday? Jamie, you got any idea what happened with Netflix?
Not from the standpoint of what's happened recently, or in terms of today or whatever, but I do know that they are boosting their programming, and they have made a deal recently with the WWE wrestling.
Okay.
And I think they're going to be streaming that on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, maybe
So
that's what made it jump.
yeah. So, but I'm not sure if, like, I can't vouch for what happened today, but I do know
Yesterday.
yesterday, but I do know that was one of the recent things that I remember reading.
Well, interesting. I think I know that
And
you mentioned it.
they might be doing. It won't surprise me if there might be something to do with sports streaming as well coming up.
On like what, basketball or something? Because football season's over.
Or something. I mean, yeah, the season might be over, but that doesn't mean that they're not possibly setting
Right.
something up for the future.
Right.
And also, if you look at like what Apple did, Apple is streaming soccer, and so
Oh,
there's, I mean, since Netflix is already doing specials and things of that nature, they could be. I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't set up some type of programming for either sports or, I mean, boxing or I mean, it's all kind of
right.
potential because they don't have any of that stuff right now. So
Right.
it looks like everybody's kind of posturing to do stuff outside of TV shows and movies is what it looks like to me.
And soccer is getting to be a really big deal.
It is.
Yeah. It's getting to be. I mean, from what I understand, more people watch soccer than watch the football, like real football with your foot, or football with your hands. More people watch soccer with your feet than they watch football with your hands.
Worldwide, yeah. So it, that's like all that stuff is potential moneymaker, basically. So
Peggy says Roku is also streaming sports. Okay. Oh, big heavy. Our small account challenge. We're wrapping up week 3 in our small account challenge. We've got one more week after this one. We're wrapping up. Hopefully, those who are involved in your small account challenge are seeing gains. I know you are. I'm not saying hopefully, but I know people are seeing gains because I'm watching the chats and I'm watching us talk about it and having our meetings and stuff. So people are seeing gains. Hopefully, you are getting more confident though with doing credit spreads on more things, few things, maybe going up in your price. Maybe, maybe you started off with 50-cent spreads and now you're ready for the dollar spreads, or you started with dollar spreads and now you're ready for the 2.5s, 2.5s. So that could be what's going on there, but we definitely gonna keep leaning in on that. Leaning in on our 1 to 2 strategies, which credit spreads is the one we're focusing ourselves on. Getting our education, right? Fundamentals on charting and using our indicators and all those great old things. And trade with the plan. Marsha says, I've learned a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Marsha, for putting that in the chat, because that's my objective, is to make sure that we do get some learning. There are communities where they will call out trades, and even in those where they do call outs, they really want people to learn the material. Most of these communities aren't just doing call outs. They want people to learn what we're doing, because we want to teach a man to fish, or teach a woman to fish. You don't have to be a man. We want to teach a woman to fish, right? We want to teach you how to go get it when you can't, when you don't have access to somebody who's saying, do this, do that. All I'm going to do is guide you, which is why I put out that graphic once a week, just to give you some things to look at. Which of those you choose, up to you. Choose some, choose none, pick something different. That's really what we do with that. Make sure that you got something to work with. E2T membership, always open. 9:30 morning calls. It's 9:30 on some days, 9 o'clock on other days. Wah, wah, wah. Is this running? Why does it feel like it's sitting still? Feels like it's stuck. Is it me or is it stuck?
It what?
Well, my picture is just sitting still. Oh, my camera went off. That's weird. My camera went off. Can you see me, Jamie?
Yes.
Am I like sitting still, or what am I doing?
You're sitting still.
Well, I'm not in real life sitting still. What are we doing? Nope, not that one. I want this one. Wonder why that camera did that. Okay. I was like, why am I not moving? I'm really moving. You can still hear me though. That's good. Got the membership going. Basically, weekly training calls. We've got monthly coaching calls. Once a month we do that. We have a Telegram group, all the goodies for all the good people, if you decide you're going to hang out with us. Jamie, you want to add anything before we wrap up the call?
No, nothing I would like to add.
All righty. All right. So our daily declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account's growing more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Our prayer, Lord, is you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. All righty. I really want you to make sure that you are, as they say, trading with diamond hands, that we don't marry stocks. Even if it benefits us a lot, we use our stocks as like employees. They work well for us. We continue to let them work for us. When they don't, we just say, this relationship has hit a roadblock. You just walk away. We don't fall in love with stocks. They do what they do for us. And when they don't do what they do, we go find something that will. All right. Don't be holding on so tight. Like, I'm just in love. No, we trade what we see, and we use the stocks that will provide us the results that we're looking for. All righty. All right. So we're going to wrap up here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'm actually have a video that should be going live in about an hour. If it pops up on your notification bell, please go ahead and watch it. It's about trading earnings. What strategy can you use to trade earnings as a seller? Alrighty, that should be going live in about an hour. Alrighty. In our community, we do two things. Wah, 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 wah. We stay green and we get this money. I want y'all to have a great green day, and I will see you in the market. Goodbye, Jamie.
Goodbye.